Gruesome Magazine.
Hello, once again, I'm Doc Rotten, and this is Gruesome Magazine, where we review the very latest in streaming and video on-demand horror movies. Each week, my co-hosts Jeff Mohr, Crystal Cleveland, David Dreher, and I will take a look at very spooky, scary, and gory genre offerings. And every once in a while, we get to do film festival selections, and that's what we're doing tonight. We have the X from Popcorn Frights Film Festival in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, through August, and we are so excited to team up with them to cover some of their selections, this being one of them, The X. And this is a Russian film, Jeff. Did you catch that?
I did.
You did. All right. You know me. I'm Doc Rodden. With me tonight is Jeff Mohr. Jeff, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing good.
Now, you and I, we love our film festivals, right? The Wreak Havoc Film Festival in Greensboro, we've met there a few times. And then, of course, we, along with Joseph Perry, like to cover as many film festivals as we can. And Popcorn Frights Film Festival is one that we have covered in the past virtually. And, of course, this year, as last year, is tough to do any other way. But I may have said this on a previous episode, but this is one of my bucket list film festivals I want to go to.
Yeah. It sounds like a lot of fun.
It is, and the people that run it are spectacular. Mark, reaches out to us every year. Thank you so much. And there'll be a link down below. Check them out and put them in your plans. This is virtual, so if you're catching this before the festival ends, check it out and see if you want to catch any of these films on their virtual platform. All right, let's talk about The X. What we're going to do, sir, is we're going to give our first impressions, and then we're going to talk about the film. Normally, when we talk about the film, we will dive into spoilers. But tonight, because this is a film festival and these films are not widely available, we will keep everything spoiler-free as possible. And yes, and then we'll wrap things up with our final thoughts, our score of 1 to 5, and our favorite scene. But what film are we talking about? It is called The X. It was one time going to be called Ex-Girlfriend. Either one, we get the idea. Of course, it's playing at Popcorn Frights Film Festival, screens between August 15th and August 9th, 2021. The director, now this is a Russian film, so forgive me right off the bat. I'm going to butcher 5 names, and I apologize. If you follow the show, it doesn't even have to be foreign for me to butcher it. All right. Evgeny Pozorovetsky, perhaps. Vladimir Batramiv is the writer. The cast includes Vera Koncheva, Konstantin Balashopka, and Sergei Voynakov.
I think that's pretty good.
I think the D's silent. Somebody tell me how close I got, because I think I got maybe 60% close. The synopsis. The screws are tightened in this wickedly entertaining, juicy supernatural thriller about a vengeful spirit of an ex-girlfriend who makes life hell for the man who scorned her. It's been several years since a teenager posted a revealing photo of his girlfriend online to brag to his friends, betraying her trust and her honor. While she has since moved on from the episode, living a happy, carefree life with his beautiful fiancée, a string of mysterious events soon not only disturbs his dream life, but turns into a living nightmare. Yes, Sasha, you dog, you dirty, dirty dog. All right. Let's give our first impressions of this Russian film. We've covered a number of Russian films in the past year, and there's something in common with all of them. I'll get to that here in a bit. But Jeff, tell me what your first impression of The X.
Well, I kind of enjoyed it. Now, it's not dubbed, so you're going to be hearing everything in Russian, and you've got to read the closed captions, or the subtitles, and it's. But I enjoyed it. What do I want to say that isn't going to spoil it? we've kind of got 4 or 5 main characters, and there's a couple of subplots going on that keep you guessing as far as what's really happening. That's not revealed until a ways through the film. I don't know. I liked it. This thing kept me involved, and I was following it. And maybe I'll let you talk and see how much we can say before I go any farther. But yeah, I like the lead couple, Katya and Sasha. So Vera Koncheva and Konstantin Balash. Yeah, Belashapka. Balash. Anyway, shut up, Jeff. But I liked them. I liked them.
Yeah, I did too. I thought the leads were good, and I liked the friend Vera Koncheva, who plays Katya. She was fun too. So this.
Well, no, she's the. I thought she was Sasha's girlfriend.
Okay.
And the other one that they.
She's not the redhead.
I don't think so. I think Elena Morozova is the redhead.
Okay. I thought.
Oh no, Ekaterina. I don't know why they put these names mixed up in here. Zhenya, that's the redhead.
Okay.
Ekaterina Shimakova.
Okay. Excellent. Anyway, regardless, so I hinted earlier that there's of the Russian films that we've seen in the past year or so, there's one thing in common, and that is how well made these films are. The cinematography and the attention to the locations and the lighting is remarkable. That's a strength to this film. It looks beautiful. It is lit really well. This one's a little, not as fantastical as some of the other ones we've been watching, but at the same time, I was amazed by the scenery and by the actual cinematography. I had some problems with this one in its execution, mainly I think because that the subtitles were so small and so fast. I usually love to watch a foreign film in its original language and read the subtitles. I mean, that's the way I want to hear it. I want to hear the inflection. I want to hear, I don't want to hear the dubbing of it where they try to match the mouth movements. I want to hear, and I really enjoy that. But this one actually, I kind of felt like Dave Dreher. I felt so, because it was rough for me to watch this, which made it hard to follow the movie and hard to keep up and keep interested. And the film itself, the story doesn't really do a lot with its trappings at the beginning. It's more soap opera at the beginning with a lot of relationships and double crossing maybe, and relationships between this person and that person and secrets and what's going on, and the story that we end up following is actually happening behind the scenes, like on the screen, right? It's happening, that like the event is actually on the screen while our characters are doing something else and not paying attention to it. So I felt a little, I wasn't exactly drawn into it as much as I have some of the other films that we've watched. I still found a lot that I liked about it. And again, most of it's in the visuals, the striking visuals. And again, I think it's mostly in the latter half, even though, the lighting in the beginning is really strong. The latter half, they start getting into some fire and there's, really strong lighting there. There's, this sort of a church setting kind of thing going on. And there's some interesting things happening there. I will admit, I got lost. I got lost in this film. And I think I would have to watch it again to really follow what was going on. So that's going to be, I'm not going to be able to give it a great review because of that. Unfortunately, it just didn't. It just, it didn't connect with me, and that's a problem. To me, it feels like a supernatural Fatal Attraction kind of film. Except for the Fatal Attraction person that wants to kill the bunnies is a ghost. Right? Sort of.
Yeah. I saw it as a retribution.
Oh, it definitely is. Definitely.
So I didn't think I thought the synopsis there was not correct. So and I'm sure they provided it, so maybe I missed something. But yeah, I thought there was like a retribution. I didn't think the one that they're talking about was an ex-girlfriend.
Really?
Yeah. No, he was trying to show off and get people to think that she was his girlfriend. And it was like he found this picture of this beautiful girl, photoshopped himself in and did the picture. Well, somehow or another got shared around to where her fiance saw it. And it ruined her wedding, kind of ruined her life. And then that was it. So, and that's too much. They shouldn't have said that. We'll have to. I'll cut it out.
No. I don't think that's too much. That's you. Obviously, the ghost has reasons to do it, and that's what's interesting. The IMDb has a different synopsis than Popcorn Frights, and it's a story. Theirs is a story how social networks and instant messaging are changing the life of a modern person, which is totally too far the other way.
Yeah, that one's true, but it leaves a lot. But so it is. It's about how you could cross the line in social media, and without thinking too much about it, and what the repercussions are down the road, and the ripples, that can come back and get you, especially. And so there is, and that's why I didn't want to give too much away, because there's at least one, maybe two subplots going on.
Yes.
You don't really know what's getting him, I guess. So yeah. Oh, I take that back. There is an ex-girlfriend trying to. Yeah.
Well, there is, but I don't think that's not the one. But anyway, I agree, and I feel like they kind of pulled the reins in a little too much in the first half with the events that were happening that were obviously intended to be more supernatural. They were kind of everything was a little too much off screen. I mean, like people would see something and then and we'd never see what it was. So
right.
I was a little frustrated with that. So there were elements that and then I really lost track of the relationship once it started ramping up. And even though they were together and still going through the motions, I lost track of how they felt for each other entirely.
Oh, I guess I didn't have that. I thought, I think that, it is complicated and it is subtitles. So I was really zeroing in, I was locked in trying to figure it out. And I thought I thought I understood it. But hey, and this is one I could watch again just because of the complexity of it, and to see what kind of signs there are, if there's any tells or anything like that. And there's some good effects, what you mentioned, I think, some supernatural shenanigans. So it's I don't know. I enjoyed it.
I was entertained enough, but it's going to be a hard recommend for me, but it is one that I'm curious about watching again. So I'm torn. I am really torn about this one. I'm really happy that we're getting exposed to more Russian filmmaking, and a lot of other foreign film. I mean, because we've had access to Spanish and Italian films and even the Asian films, but not so much those in Russia or areas around that. And we're getting some from Iran lately and other areas. It was really exciting to get all these in South Africa. So we're really getting a lot of really interesting alternative views onto what is horror and what makes horror, and how what things are scary. And it's interesting is that I think the Russian films that we've seen, and it may just be the ones that have been available to us, probably show some of the biggest influence of American horror.
Yeah, we've seen some good stuff. Everything from Sputnik to Super Deep to others.
Yes.
So, and this is a slightly different vein, but I think it's very well done as well.
Yeah. And of course, we both love V back from '67. So,
Oh
that's
yeah,
long way. That movie. If you haven't, check out Decades of Horror for that one. But anyway, so we'll get back to the X. It is, of course, playing at Popcorn Frights Film Festival. Check it out. There's a link down below. And this film will most likely be in other film festivals around you. So if you go to those, check them out and check this film out as well. All right, we'll wrap things up with our final thoughts, our score 1 to 5, and our favorite scene. But before we do, if you're still listening, we want to thank you for hanging out with us. We hope you enjoy not only this review, but many others that we have on the site. And if you would like to support us, it's free and easy to do. Hit the subscribe button down below or share with a friend. Either way, it will really help us out, and we graciously thank you. Love to hear your comments. If you've seen the X, let us know what you think down below. And of course, if you're looking where to find the X and you're hearing this between 2021 and 2022, check your film festivals, your local film festivals. That's where you're going to find them. After that, I would imagine this one's a target for Shudder. I'm just going to put it out there.
I think so. Yeah.
All right, Jeff, you're up first, sir. Your final thoughts, your score, and your favorite scene.
I think this is worth a watch, and it's sometimes these social media films can be really irritating with, it's like texting and stuff all the time and messaging. But this one doesn't have that much of it. It's got some, but I thought it was well displayed, and I could always see it. So, it is a bit complex, which makes it difficult, I think, for in terms of plot, which makes it difficult for the subtitles. But I think if you hang in there, you'll enjoy it. So I'm giving this one a 3.25. I might go higher because I want to watch it again. There's some things I want to look at, but 3.25 to 3.5. The favorite scene, God, it's hard. It's hard to pick one. I'll take the when he, you know what? I'm going to take when he's talking to his friend Oleg, and that's when I figure out what the hell's going on.
Yes.
And there's a couple lines in there where I go, oh crap, that's what's going on. And it's not what I thought. It's not as bad as I thought. It's not good, but there wasn't really any ill intent involved. So anyway, that opened it up in terms of plot for me.
It did indeed. All right. I enjoyed the look of this film. I enjoyed the aesthetic of it. The actors I thought were great. I liked our two leads, although their characters, I got lost in their story as it went along, and it got further and further into the church element of it, or whatever was going on there. The film lost me, which is unfortunate. This is probably one of the most difficult films for me to keep up with on the subtitles, and I enjoy that. So be aware of that. But it may have, I don't know, it may have been the situation. This is one that I do want to see again at some point, to give it a second shot, because I can only give it a 2.5 at the moment. But I feel like it deserves better. I just didn't have the right experience with it. I think this is one that would benefit actually seeing on a large screen, a big screen. The only complaint I can give it soundly is that I wish the supernatural elements were stronger in their supernatural elements earlier, instead of trying to be a little shrouded. I mean, they're definitely kept under wraps even as they're happening, and I commit to it. It felt more like waffling than being mysterious, but again, that might be baggage. I don't know. again, one of the things I love about the cinematography on these films are incredible. And I'm going to pick, even though I was incredibly lost and had really very little idea what was going on, other than the obvious, is all the supernatural shenanigans when they were trying to do whatever they were trying to do when she was coming at the church. It was some kind of, I don't know. I'm not going to say here because it might be spoilery, but things happen.
Yes, they do.
People fly around, and I like those shenanigans. And I was certainly enjoying that. I will say there's a pool scene early on that I liked. I liked much of it. But I don't know if I liked it enough to really make it like a favorite scene. But there's an aspect to it where this character that we don't see clearly, it's a shadow or a silhouette. I guess I should say it's not a shadow, it's a silhouette. Jump into the pool, and it's the only other person in the pool is our lead, and the person never comes up, right? And I just loved the idea of that where did that person go? Right. Yep. And it was handled really well. And, but it kind of fell apart after that. But anyway, I almost hate saying that after with the ending.
I like that too. I like that too. Yeah. That was creepy.
So there you go. That's our review for The X, which is out in film festivals right now, including and not limited to the Popcorn Frights Film Festival in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And you can catch this in the theater down there at I had the theater name up earlier. It was called the Savor Cinema. Or you can do it online. And this film should be available online if you want to check it out. And I encourage you to look into Popcorn Frights Film Festival if you are interested in attending film festival, especially if you live in Florida. It's like I said before, Jeff, this is on my bucket list. This is one that I want to go to.
Well, I think we reviewed 4 films from them, and they were all pretty good films.
Yep. Excellent stuff. All right, Jeff. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you.
Let's say goodnight.
Night.
Gruesome Magazine.